Here are the facts. India trailed by 137 runs heading into day 5. Now, England fans, I just want to know, is this good? Because there's no good just hearing it from a couple of bitter Aussies that have been to the Wallabies last night and seen your 4 teams beat our 1 team. And so we're angry and we're bitter. Now, when you look at the scores and England piling on 669, you have to think have they batted too well? In the same way that when Australia bowled the West Indies out for 27, they actually bowled too well. And then it was actually this is the decline of a sport. So England fans, I want to know, are you happy? Or have they actually batted too well to the point where you're this actually doesn't count. This doesn't matter because this won't be the same conditions for the thing that we actually truly desire and yearn for. Let us know in the comments. Is this good? Pezza, Sunday morning, 669. They've batted for a week. Is this good?
And if I could add on top of that an alternative perspective, here goes. Have they batted for too long in the way India did at Edgbaston because England's scared? Was it a scared accumulation of 669 runs, that has now opened the door, left it ajar for India to steal a draw and potentially square the series? Has England, under Brendan McCullum and the New Zealand leadership axis, become scared? Look, the answer to both our questions is no. It's fine. And their guys had days that have been, designed by Rob Key. Just nice, benign decks and runs against the names of their entertainers. And yesterday it was Ben Stokes' turn. It was the Dark Knight, the Dark Knight's Indian summer. 5 for 140. What's not to like? I don't think we've ever seen an all-rounder from Australia take 5 for and score 100 in our lifetime. Correct me if I'm wrong there. And that's why no Australian all-rounder has ever succeeded, because that's basically par for our expectations. Stokes has done the thing. Stokes took 5 for and has scored 141 cricket runs. I mean, if we're finding ways to criticise it, that's more shame on us.
Yeah, he's only done it once, though.
That's right. And it's been 8 years between drinks.
Yeah. And it wasn't at the Gabba, so...
Yeah. No, he... it was nail-in coffin runs. It was Indian players to the soundscape of Hello Darkness, My Old Friend runs. Unfortunately, India has yet another father, Ben Stokes, father of India now. It's like a yellow jersey of fathering India. Someone must be the father each day, and now Stokes is wearing the yellow jersey. Now, we used to have a yellow jersey when we went on an end-of-season cricket tour, and that was for other matters. But
that's Dick looked like the polka dot jersey on that tour.
Anyway, so with that wonderful tribute in mind, Stokes look good. Hard hitting, entertaining. I feel like the Old Trafford Test more and more is just it's the test you kind of, when you look back at the 5 tests, you're like, people score runs there, but I don't really know what happens. Yep. And this was one of them. And shout out Stokes, crooked finger salute to his old man, respect. And England also doing things differently, 669. Obviously, they did that in Pakistan, but a chance for their bowlers to put the feet up, and it looked like it was just. I mean, yeah, they're in India 2 for spit early with England having piled on 669. You're thinking, well, they're on the canvas. That's it.
Mm-hmm. So England's 669, they've batted for 157 overs. That's the longest of the Bazball, inverted commas, era. It's the highest ever total at Old Trafford. It's England's 5th highest ever in tests. And that's because it's just a good batting lineup. Those are just the facts of the case.
Man, I've seen articles saying, I think 5 of the top 7 of this England's team, according to Steve James in the Times, 5 of the top 7 would make a combined team with the 2010-11 team that won the Ashes in Australia.
Yep.
You're going to have to... There's a lot of guys who are missing out who literally won the Ashes in Australia because of the skill of this lineup.
This is a good side on these tricky decks. It's Stokes' first bag in 8 years. It's his first 100 in 2 years. It's 7,000 test runs. He's the first Englishman and the 5th player ever to register a bag and a ton in the same match as captain, which is getting too close to Equinox kind of gear. Like it's almost one too many caveats for a record, but that is actually very, very cool and impressive. The 5th player ever to captain a side to score 100 and take a bag in the same test match. That's remarkable. We'll talk about his lack of bowling and injury in a moment, but I suppose just moving on to the next thing, and that's KL and Shubbers. And I actually, when I was watching them bat, like I actually was thinking that I've never used the word sumptuous in any other word, in any other like context except for cricket. Like I've never had like a crumpet and be like that's sumptuous, or eaten like a juicy steak and be like it's sumptuous. I've only looked at KL Rahul and Shubman Gill caress balls through the offside, and I think that is so satisfying. It is so... I'm salivating at the thought of it. I am so galvanised at the thought of it. I'm being summoned from the gods when I'm watching it. It's so beautiful and crisp. It's magnificent. Now, it's one of the worst decks of all time, but it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch if you like batting, and typically speaking, a lot of cricket fans like their batting. And so when I'm watching them go about their work, sumptuous. It's great. They've pretty much put themselves in a position where they can save the test match, but it was great. It was impressive. KL Rahul has been like sort of second fiddle to Shubman Gill's incredible Bradman-esque touching the gods series, but KL Rahul has been magnificent. 2 for none. Wokes does the business. It was great. It was just great watching them play cover drives, for a couple of hours.
Yeah, England went pole hunting, and they're not the first group to do that. But and what that meant was we got to watch KL Rahul and Shubman Gill receive throwdowns and just hit drives, and it was great. I'll treat myself to the cavalcade of sumptuous drives down the ground and through extra cover, etc. In many ways, it's therapy. There is something peaceful about it. A lot of people, people get their meditation through colouring in and the presence you must have to colour in. Others like to, recline to the sound of a steam engine chugging away for 6 hours. Yep. Me, throwdowns for KL Rahul and Shubman Gill.
A centre wicket.
Just a centre wicket. And KL Rahul does a lot of it in a cap. Hello. Hello. Hello.
I guess I'm gay now.
Yeah. Yeah. As soon as one goes through extra cover and he's wearing a cap and his hair's flying, like, oh, I'm gay. Babe.
Marriage off. I'm gay now.
Babe, I'm gay. Now, it's a great partnership because, like, England have a 300 lead. There's 2 quick wickets. These 2 blokes who have been their own fathers of this team have been in the dirt for 157 overs. Gill skippering notionally, and they fight back. Like in the words of JL, respect. Respect. That's John Lennon, by the way. Big watch on Liam. JL Rahul. Yeah. Big watch on Liam Dawson tomorrow. Shahid Bashir's looking better than he ever has.
What a bowler.
What a bowler he is, and how they could use his height and levers and strike rate in this deteriorating surface right now. Got to say, it's one of the great elements of one of the great one of the great parts of cricket is not playing and how good you become. And Shahid Bashir's looking very good. England for a while just trying the short ball, funky umbrella field stuff. Liam Dawson left arm over into the rough. Nothing's doing, and people just score runs at Old Trafford. That's I think that's our lesson. And it's so fun. I feel like every test we go to now, I don't know when this happened, but every test you go to, that like commentators are telling you like how great it is to score runs here. I'm like, what did I watch growing up? Have I been gaslit?
Yep.
But like every deck so far has its own brand of being fucking flat, like slow flat, no carry flat, a bit of pace, but ultimately flat. And they're going to go to the Oval. I feel like every game somebody says like this is the best place to score runs in England, and we haven't even been to the Oval yet.
But
anyway,
it's 2:30 on a Wednesday. This is the perfect. Like you wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Here at Wimbledon.
Watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, again, like this is England's method for winning. They've asked for what they've asked for. It's a dry summer. Like that, every country is allowed to do it their own way. Australia, all of a sudden, is like juiced up green seamers with a bowling captain, amazingly, and so everyone's allowed to do it their own way. It's just it does asterisk a few things. Stokes doesn't bowl.
Yeah, so Stokes hasn't bowled, right? And I think Wokes, Stokes, and Cars have played every game of this series. I think that's right. I think Cars has played every game as well. Yeah. So they, Jofra's obviously gone back to back, and they are looking like. I mean, I suppose we're tipping into the final thing here with like 2 results possible. So 17 overs still the new ball. So they've bowled 63 overs so far. Stokes has not bowled. There was footage with Stokes next to, I think it was Ollie Pope at leg slip, where he walks up to Ollie Pope and then he sort of like presses against his hamstring, sort of like indicating where he's feeling pain. So Stokes has had this hamstring issue for a while, right? And he bent over to pick a ball at mid-off earlier in the innings, seemed to like grab the sort of the glute hamstring tie-in part of his body. Obviously hasn't bowled. I suppose like it's felt inevitable in the sense like that he's had these injury issues and he's bowled himself into the dirt for the country. And then he's batted for ages. He's got 141. And it feels like, well, this was always going to happen. I guess like if you're a doctor, that's probably just not true. But at the same time, it's like, well, fuck, if they are a bowler down, Wokes and Cars have bowled every game of this test match. Now, Jofra's going to go back-to-back, and then the next test match starts in 3 days' time. So if India make them India make them bowl all day on day 5, it's a hell of a turnaround to the next test match. Now, obviously, if they save the test match, then everyone's automatically thought, well, then India didn't just win at the Oval. I guess it just makes it interesting in that regard. But it is fascinating, and it's so demoralising to see Stokes feels like he's hurt himself again because he's just done this thing. He's just done this thing where he's touched God again. 5th player ever to score 100 and get a bag as captain ever. And now it's just like, now he can't bowl. It's like, fuck me, So looks like a good centre wicket tomorrow for the boys.
Alternate read from me is that his body's fine, and this is like pantomime. This is horseplay, and he waits for both of them to make hundreds before heroically coming on to break the partnership, limping. So we're in the limping era of Stokes, the Dark Knight limping era, and I welcome it. By the way. I mean, his body's been better than it ever has. So, and he's demonstrative guy, yeah. So, I hope he's good. I hope the body's good. I mean, it makes complete sense that he didn't bowl today because they had 1 million runs to play with, and he's just batted for 198 deliveries, and he's old and his body's fragile. So, hey, boys, I'm the all-rounder. Any danger of the bowling lineup just getting just a couple of incursions. Into this, and Wokes does his job, but the flat deck and India's fight save the day. And I suppose what are you going to the yin to the yang of England's excellent batting is that like at times it's going to be a pretty big grind with the ball. That's the nature of these decks, and we find out how close the sides actually are. Interestingly, if Gill and KL Rahul can get through the first session tomorrow, which obviously would be incredible. Because England will push that first session, then you're backing them to save the game. As it stands, usually on the 5th day, the service deteriorates a bit more, and India is going to find it difficult. won't they? That's what I would have thought. But yeah, I mean, if India does save it, certainly certainly interesting times ahead.
Yes,
for the Oval.
So what about this? So it's going to be Richard with his broken foot against Stokes with his broken body. So that's going to be two warriors. Who's got the bigger piece? That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, well said.
It just comes down to that. So let's do AskTGC. Now, Amy wrote in, Pezza, and she said, enjoy Chris Wokes' 2 in 2. Might start calling him the dappled grey in contrast to our bush horse, that being Josh Hazlewood. Enjoyed even more that England got exactly 0 more wickets while I got 8 hours of restful, fulfilling sleep. So well done, Amy. You win tonight. You win Saturday night.
I don't mind that. Like, I don't think Australia has exclusive rights to being described as horse, as different types of horse breeds. I can see that with Chris Wokes, and it's probably. I mean, I might be stereotyping here, but I feel like there's a show jumping and equestrian element to Chris Wokes' dappled grey.
Yep.
High society stuff. Hazlewood is man from Snowy River, a wild Brumby on the loose. So that's just me.
The great chemist said Karen Nye back in for the 5th test. So obviously Sai Siddharthan gets 60 in the first innings, but he gets a first baller here. So more changes afoot. Basically, a couple of countries struggling with number 3 at the moment. You know, Australia's got some struggles there. VM Mulder has just cemented his place as the second greatest batter of all time for South Africa. Ollie Pope, next after him. He's locked himself in number 3. But number 3 for India, there's been a couple of rotations. I think Kohli batted there for a bit. I think Gill was there for a bit. They've obviously tried Karen Nair in this series. Sai Siddharthan haven't quite nailed it down. But given that Sai Siddharthan got out first ball this innings, that means that he's not fit for this level. So they'll need to find maybe like a Shardul Thakur to bat 3 there. That's how I'm seeing it.
Yeah, there's obviously the thing about India has got so much depth. That's what you've got to understand about the Indian cricket team. But and so there's all manner of selection configurations and formations that they can opt into because of said depth and flexibility. But one thing that is for sure is that Sai Siddharthan is now at the very back of the queue. I'm talking the bottom of Ranji Trophy. Yeah, he's going to need another 40,000 runs to even begin to knock at the door again.
Absolute worst thing you can do is actually play. That is the worst thing you can do.
That is what we've learned. That is what we've learned. Playing is not good for your career.
Pezza, just to finish up, Human Tripod said, looking forward to the Ashes series having a batter average of 10 across the board. So, I mean, that sort of comes back to a full circle moment here where England fans might be worried that they've scored the wrong kind of runs here. Like they've scored 800 in Pakistan a couple of years ago, maybe last year. They've scored 669 here. It's the highest ever scored at Old Trafford. But you know, you'd be worried that, you know, it's just not going to replicate what it's going to be like in Australia. So it's almost like Australia and England have got to play against each other to see who's the better side in that specific in those specific conditions. You know, I guess we'll never get that chance, but you know, it's one of those things where you're enjoying your side and you're just enjoying your summer. You're enjoying your team just battering a side, but in the back of your head, it's like, it's not right, is it? It's not right. So are we ever happy?
Oh, we're never happy. The great paradox is, as you said, like the one way to enjoy cricket is to watch what's in front of you and to marvel at the feats of highly professional players in the conditions that are presented to them. Another way to enjoy cricket is to say, I'll heap no respect on your name until you win in completely foreign conditions against a team that plays only in those conditions and have been used to it. And the trick being that we all know that no one can do that, so that no one has any respect at any time. And we all agree. We all agree online. We shake hands and we just all get our goes online to say, like, nah, I see how you thought you were good. You're shit. You can't even do it where we're from.
We're the best. I'm the best.
Yeah. You get it. You get 3 to 4 weeks. This is the great trick of the ICC and bowing down to Jay Shah. Everyone online gets 3 to 4 weeks to go, see, we're good, and then everyone else can go, like, but that's only your conditions. Try it in ours, and then we go round and round and round, and nobody wins until we die.
See you tomorrow.